Okay, guys, we're back with a Three Fellas Talking video today. Not really a podcast because today we have a special one, a very rare occurrence where we are doing a review on two specific songs. And I have my two co-hosts with me, Noah and Cole, to help me do a review on these songs. Boys, how you doing?
Okay.
Fantastic.
Fine.
Great. So, as you all probably have heard, if you are a fan of rap at all, or just been on Twitter in the last 12 hours, Kendrick Lamar has responded to Drake's diss called Push Ups, and his other one, Taylor Swift Freestyle, but that one doesn't really count because it got taken down. He's responded with his own diss track, quite long, 6-minute diss track called Euphoria, and we are going to be giving a review. I'm going to be breaking down the disses personally, and we're going to be giving a review of the two songs and seeing which music. Well, these two are just going to review the music. I'm going to give you guys kind of a breakdown on which diss pretty much, I'm not going to say hits harder, but explain the diss and the history behind it. But without further ado, boys, let's start out with Drake and Push Ups. So first and foremost, let's get the songs out of the way. What do you fellas think of Push Ups? What do we think? Noah, start with you.
Ha ha. You're short and not as popular as me. That's all the lyrics. Okay, now I can move on to the instrumental.
Okay.
The instrumental is really fucking boring.
Mm.
Drake's flows, as usual, are very fucking boring. This is very mid. This is like a fucking 4.
Damn, a 4. Okay. So you're saying his flow is very boring, the instrumental is very Drake-like, which is boring, and that the lyrics are incredibly weak.
Yeah, it's a weak diss.
Okay. Cole?
Average Drake song. I guess there's a little more energy than an average Drake song.
A little bit more energy.
He got you way you a fan.
He's not very happy.
I don't know why, but whatever. I don't really care.
So I should say for the record, these two could care less about this the beef, as you guys can see. That's some nice meat on my screen right there. If
it's producing music of this quality, then I especially don't care about it.
These two could care less about beef, but hip hop is hip hop, and I am the hip hop connoisseur. And beef, as many hip hop connoisseurs do and know, tends to bring out the best in terms of skill for two artists or however many artists are involved. And I will say, for Drake's song Push Ups, while I think attacking his height is pretty weak, honestly, that does seem to be the majority of what he was trying to go after. I mean, considering the literal picture of the song is a shoe size US 7. Really just saying that he's like short and not relevant to him. And I think there's a couple disses in the Drake song itself that say, you had to get your first #1 was because of me. You're welcome for that. Now pay it back or something like that. A lot of other lines about how, he's short and that no matter what he does, he's always going to look up to Drake. He always wishes he wants to be Drake. He's mad because he's not Drake, that type of thing. One of the biggest, I think, best disses of this song is probably when I'll give Drake credit for this. He basically said that the only time people give you credit is when you make songs for, the only time you're talked about is when you make pop songs, like pop rap songs, like, for Maroon 5 or Taylor Swift, or, I mean, he's just used, those are his examples he uses, but they're just, when the only time people talk about Kendrick is when he's, making songs with, features with pop artists on them. And to not really his credit, because I do think, Kendrick obviously has some big songs with, by himself, but a lot of his big hits are with pop artists. That's just a fact. Spotify streaming numbers do say that in depth. So I'll give Drake credit for that on that one. It's a smart diss. Some of the dumb things he said was, I think talking about his height is really not that interesting, to be honest. He could have said a lot more other than that. Some of the dumber things he said was like, he kept talking about how Kendrick basically looks up to Drake because Drake is, biggest selling artist in rap right now. I don't think Kendrick really cares about that. He's never in his real life, never in any of his raps or discography, ever seemed to make a song where talking about like money as a primary motivator or feature for his music. So I can't really see that being that great of a diss. I don't think he cares. He also basically said the whole beef was started because he just believes Kendrick is salty. He doesn't do the numbers that he does, but I don't know. I mean, this battle between these two, the beef between these two has been a long time coming. It wasn't just because of the Like That song or anything before that. It was, these two have hated each other for a while. Neither one of them really had the balls to go at each other until Kendrick kind of started with J. Cole and Drake making first person shooter. Kendrick responded to that in a not so subtle way, and then Drake unleashed, and so now it's a real thing. But before that, it was just always little subtle, tiny hits at each other without really any indication it was going to be a bigger battle. But now, obviously, it is. Other than that, the only thing I'll say about Drake's disc is that I guess it's popular because it's going to be a Drake song. It's going to be popular, but it has a very current hip hop beat to it, where this is what a lot of hip hop fans want to hear on a beat wise on a song. What did you guys think of the beat for this? I mean, what did you think personally?
Whatever.
Yeah. Thank you.
For the Drake song?
The Drake song, yeah.
It was whatever.
Yeah, it was
Drake song was like a
mediocre.
5.
Okay. All right, so we'll move on because primarily we wanted to talk about Kendrick's song, which came out today called Euphoria. Boys, you've heard this song. I think you both heard it twice now.
Yeah.
What do you think, Noah?
The lyrics are better, I guess.
Okay.
Instrumentals are a little bit better.
Well, there's a couple.
Yeah.
All different changes in the song.
And all of them are slightly better than Drake's one instrumental.
Okay. What was your favorite of the 3 different switches?
Oh, the second.
Okay, that's
Oh my God.
very interesting because Cole thought that was the worst one by far.
Oh, wow.
Those horns sound so stupid.
It sounded like Metro Boomin produced it.
They sound like a WWE.
Well, it was not produced by Metro Boomin.
I know. But yeah, it's alright, I guess. If Drake's is a 4, Kendrick's is like a 5.5.
It's harsh. That's really harsh, and I'm inclined to disagree. Cole, what do you think?
I mean, it was definitely better. I like the first beat. It was there for way too little. The second beat, I thought was mediocre as hell. Third beat was alright. Obviously, the lyrics are way better because, yeah, it's talent and Drake doesn't. Like a 6.5.
All right, so you're really not feeling the song that much, though.
Particularly.
Interesting. Well, I'll say this. The 3 different beat switches are very unique because rarely in a diss track do you get 3 different parts. It's been pretty... Only some of the more well-known legacy diss tracks are divided into parts, and Kendrick is very smart with his disses, so I'll give him credit for that. I thought the first part was one of the smartest disses I've ever heard, in how he basically broke down everything Drake said to him and reversed it within a minute. The first minute was basically spent on just saying, everything you just said was stupid and here's why. And he flipped it on him. And then the second part was his chance, the second beat switch was Kendrick's chance to go at Drake and start making his own shots and really starting to go at him. And a lot of it was a lot of the disses were aimed at how Drake is just not for the culture of hip hop. He uses it to get money and power, and he will never be respected, and that Kendrick can never respect somebody who only uses hip hop or rap to become famous and doesn't give back to it and doesn't care about how he becomes famous or anything like that. And he really got mad. You could tell the reason Kendrick probably made this diss was because when Drake put out Taylor Swift Freestyle using Pac's AI voice as a verse, that really pissed off Kendrick because he said he'd rather let a Canadian N-word he'd rather do that than let a Canadian make Pac turn in his grave. So you can clearly see that using Pac's AI voice and, Tupac's estate actually ended up suing Drake and taking the diss track off of Spotify and other media. You can see where Kendrick probably might not have even said anything until he made that, because of the way he felt Drake just entirely disrespected hip hop and the legends of hip hop and stuff like that. And it's kind of the subtle thing Kendrick's been hinting at for so long, is Drake doesn't respect hip hop or the legacy, or how he doesn't give back what he feels he's taken so much from hip hop, gotten so much, money, power, all this stuff, and he feels like Drake doesn't give back whatsoever. He doesn't respect it. He doesn't care about it. And to be fair to him, Drake has not really ever mentioned hip hop legends in the past. He really doesn't do that very much. And there's a lot of disses about that type of stuff, how Drake cares more about money than anything else. And then the third part, which I thought was probably his, the part 3 of this was probably his, okay, now I've explained to you why I hate you. Here's all the shit that you do that pisses me off. Like, he basically just took Drake to town on things that he probably has been holding back for years on, and said, he finds him cringeworthy. He hates how he even specifically says, I hate how you talk, I hate how you dress, I hate how you look, I hate how you rap. He feels like he's not like a very, there's so many things to talk about there, because it goes into a whole lot. But end of the day, he says basically he thinks he is, this has been a common issue with Drake for many, many years, is that he gets called light-skinned for a black guy, and that he basically uses his light skin to sell to white people as much as possible, which is kind of funny, because a lot of Kendrick's fan base, and you could say the same as Kanye's fan base and Eminem's fan base, and a lot of their fan base is white people. They have a lot of, but Drake, what the biggest, like, quote unquote, like, the thing Drake is trying to sell to the most, that has been a common diss against him, is that he tries to sell to white women specifically, and that his music is all about trying to get white women to enjoy it and buy his music, because he knows that white women often tend to buy music and stream music more than any other category. Look at Taylor Swift's fan base; it's huge, right? So he's trying to be the Taylor Swift of rap. And to Kendrick, that's just disgusting. He's like, you make music for anyone. You don't make music for one people. You don't make music and just like sell your soul to one fan base just because they're popular and they'll stream it. Like, that's what he's trying to say at the end of the day. He takes a very, very long way to get to that, to be honest. He takes a really long route. And there's a couple disses in there about him being like, calls Drake basically a bitch. He calls him gay at sometimes. He says that he's not nearly as black as he wishes he could be. He thinks Drake should give back he said he took away Drake's N-word pass because he doesn't think he's black enough to even deserve it. A whole bunch of other things. Talked about how he hated talked about his ghostwriters. He even said, am I battling ghost or AI? He talks about Drake basically never actually having to do any real fight. It's always somebody else doing it for him. He mentioned that Drake said in his diss it was like 20v1 because Kendrick was all alone and he had nobody supporting him. And Kendrick said it's 1v20 because you have so many ghostwriters that I have to fight all of them at the same time, which he's fine with doing apparently. And as Noah, you mentioned before this podcast, he attacked his little doggo.
Cat,
sorry. Kitten.
Crody, bro.
Crody, the kitten, which I had no idea was his cat, but there you go. But you do realize besides the fact that he's talking about his cat, he's also using Crody as a variation of Brody, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. But yeah, was there anything else you guys thought of during this that you could think of, and anything else you want to say about this particular track? Kendrick's winning.
But could y'all put some thought into your instrumentals, please?
Well, round 2's coming. He responded, so there's going to be another round coming.
That'd be great if y'all could write some good instrumentals. come up with some good instrumentals so these songs are worth listening to more than once.
Yeah.
One more quick shout out to Kendrick.
Drake, I would just stop
Oh,
trying to view. You should stop because
Stop
it's
drinking.
not gonna go. Your
stop
way.
drinking. Are you saying Drake should stop because you don't think he has a chance to win?
Drake should retire because
Yeah, he
he's
does.
not good at making music, and I'm sick of hearing his boring ass songs all the time.
Ah. First,
Nothing to do with his beef. I just want him to retire because he's
Oh.
not good at making music.
are you
But he
trying-
could use this as motivation for him to retire.
What advice would you give Drake Cole for the next song? Besides retire.
Hire more ghostwriters.
Maybe hire Nas to be your ghostwriter or something. Someone who
Nas is
actually
like 50 something.
has good lyrics.
Okay. I just want to give one quick shout out to Kendrick here. One of the smartest things he did, and that will go past so many people because he could put it backwards. Very first line of this song, he did "Everything They Say About Me Is True," which is a audio from the film The Wiz, which is a remake of The Wizard of Oz, where Michael Jackson played a scarecrow in there. And if you listened to Like That, the Kendrick diss on the original Kendrick diss, you know that he said to Drake, Prince outlived Mike Jack, and he was saying that he was Prince and Mike Jackson was Drake. You know, he's saying Mike Jackson and Prince had a bunch of beef, and Michael Jackson was rich and all that, but Prince was the better artist, whether you want to believe, think that's true or not. Kendrick does in this case. And he harped back to that by saying, by giving a little nod to the Wiz, and because Michael Jackson was a scarecrow, and he's basically saying Drake's scared to actually diss him because he knows that he'll get beat in a real diss, so he's making a pop diss. Very detailed diss line, but that was fantastically well done. And if you actually look it up, that is a fantastically hidden line, which I love those in-depth lines that you have to go peel back multiple layers. So big shout out to Kendrick for that one. That's very rare. That's some Eminem type shit where you did multiple layers of peeling back to find the hidden truth behind that saying. Love that shit. That's what gets me off. So banger diss line right there.
Weird way to end that.
I'm just saying, it's fantastically, it's so well done. I love that shit. I think true hip hop artists or artists who do that are really taking rap to the next level because that's the stuff that's fun. That's really cool. But yeah, other than that, anything else to say about either of these two tracks, Euphoria or Push Ups? Any final words? Closing statements?
Can both of you do better? I'd like it if both of y'all did better.
Oh, come on. Euphoria is good. I like Euphoria. I think it's good.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I don't think it's good as an actual
I mean,
song.
lyrically, it's way better than it is instrumentally.
Okay. No, you don't think it's good as an actual song? Do you think
Okay.
Push Ups is better as an actual song?
No, none of them have any replayability.
It's true.
Gonna disagree with you. I actually think they both have replayability. But all right. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the breakdown, the review of these. What's your final ratings, real quick? Euphoria.
6.
6. Noah.
5.5.
Okay, I'm gonna give Euphoria on a diss track level of 9.5. On a song
What does
level,
that even mean?
meaning
That's
just
such a stupid
as a
thing
diss
to say.
track, I think it is a really top tier diss track. It's one of the few ones that I think.
That's insulting to diss tracks. That's you're literally
What?
just saying, well, I'm not gonna hold you to as high of a standard.
No,
as
I'm
other
about to
songs,
give
so
a
I'm gonna
second.
give
I'm
it
about to give a
rating.
second rating. If you would calm down.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
No, I'm going to because it's as a diss track. This is a extensively well done lyrically diss track with a lot of layers to peel back and very smart that will have people talking about it for a while. So on that 9.5, probably could have gone a little harder. He clearly backed off on some points. As a song, it's about 7 out of 10.
I hate when people do that.
It's
So
true though
much.
because I do think there are and
Just because there's less diss tracks doesn't make it better than it otherwise would be.
but diss tracks are just different. They are not the same as
You're
regular
telling me that they're
songs.
worse. That's what you just said to
Some
me.
are,
that they're
some
way
are.
worse.
Sometimes you get really good songs like Hit 'Em Up, No Vaseline, Kill Shot. Sometimes you get just straight diss tracks, which are not meant to be quality music. It's meant to hit hard. It's
Well,
meant
then
to
it's
respond.
boring.
Yeah, to you, but you don't care about hip hop like I do. So
It's
this
not
it's different.
true.
You don't care about this side of hip hop at all. This is where so much of hip hop fans come from, is this side. The lyrical talent that comes out of these type of things,
There's
these
more
type of
lyrical
songs.
talent and other things that they have. Kendrick's
I-
is not even really close to Kendrick's best song lyrically. That's absurd and borderline
I
retarded. They
didn't
call this
say it
Kendrick's
was.
best. It's not even close.
I didn't say it was. The hell? I
Okay?
said
Then how is it bringing out the best?
it brings out the best, the top tier and lyricists out there, because they're forced to respond. They're forced to not cave in and make just a crap. They're forced to not make crap. They're forced to push out good music. They're forced to go at somebody and go hard, or face the consequences from the community. So, yeah. Other than that, I would give Euphoria like I said, 7 out of 10. What would you give Push-Ups, Noah?
I give it a 4.
4. I think Cole is away, so I think Cole gave it a 5, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. I'll give Push-Ups on a diss level. I will say it's for Drake. I mean, it's ghost written, so you have to take that into account. I give it, for Drake, it's good. So on a diss level, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. On a song level, 6 out of 10. I definitely think the beat selection could be better. And of course, Drake is just a boring rapper, like you guys
Are you
mentioned.
just rating the lyrics when you say on a diss level?
Yes, yes, and how you
Okay,
say
you
them,
just
and
say
how
those.
you say them as well.
Say them.
Well, also, Cole, it's more than just lyrics. It's response to other lyrics. Throwback, peeling back the layers, figuring out how that lyric matches up, how it's actually a diss. There's multiple levels. It's not just what he says, it's how he says it. There are multiple levels to this.
Be all.
Huh?
It's lyrics and performance.
I know you care about just the song itself, but when I say that, what'd you say?
I said just say like on a lyric and performance level.
Yeah,
like,
fine.
The lyrics and
performance
performance
and a lyrics level for a diss
Yes.
track. This is a 9.5 for
the
Euphoria.
entirety of the song should get 1 rating.
Fine. 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 for Euphoria, because I have to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for Euphoria, not for push-ups. No, for push-ups. For push-ups, if I'm giving it 1 rating, I'm giving it a 6.5, because I think the song, I mean, it's typical of Drake. Nothing changes there. But even if it is ghost written, which it seems 99% likely that it is, because, you know, everyone knows Drake uses ghostwriters. For Drake, it's still a good diss track. Like, for him. When you don't have a high expectation level, when you put something up that's like decent, that's good for you. But ghostwriting is
that
just
should
shitty.
not improve the rating.
You think I should give it?
Kendrick released.
Yeah.
If Kendrick,
I mean,
released,
Kendrick's diss is better than Drake's at the highest level.
If Kendrick made push-ups, what would you give it?
Oh God, 5.
This should be then Drake's is the 5 too. It doesn't change because a different artist released it.
I mean, there were some good bars, but the majority of it was just crappy hype bars, and like talking about I'm so much bigger than you as an artist, and you're mad about it. So, if that, I mean, yeah, that's a fair point.
5 from Kendrick, from Drake.
Okay, fine. If we're just being fair and neutral and not caring about who the artist is, then the lyrics, then the diss track itself as a lyrical and performance and as a song from Drake would be a 6 out of 10.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's the best I can do for him.
How all music should be judged.
Okay, but it's not how it's judged, though.
I don't care.
All right, so we got a Euphoria. I'm giving it a 8 out of 10. Push-ups, I'm giving a 6 out of 10. Again, it sounds like Cole and Noah would both like these two on the next round of disses to up their game up a little bit, whether it be instrumentally or lyrically. Yeah, thank you guys for watching.